Good evening, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me. If you are... Good evening, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me. If you are... Yeah, there we go. I know you can hear me because I can hear myself. I always do that. How is everyone this evening? Whether you are joining on the Facebook group, live on Facebook, or via the Zoom link, welcome. Please do drop a message in the chat and say hi and let me know your what you're up to, and any questions as we go along, just drop them in the chat. So welcome to Rise and Shine, building a thriving business as a busy mum. Now, this is something that's very close to my heart because I've obviously been, any of you who've seen me before, I have been running a business for quite a while. And when my boys came along, everything changed. And it really is a... Oh, I've got everything going bing at me. It really is a life changer, but it is also the most amazing thing ever. So I really love the fact that I get to share that with all of you. So I'm going to just hang on for a couple of minutes in case anyone else is going to join us, and then I will start. In the meantime, let's... Let's just put a note in to say we're live to remind everybody. Okay, so let's, I'm not sure which one I want to put it on. There we go. Let's get going. So I'm going to talk you through very quickly what it is we are going to go through, and then we'll get stuck in. So let me get all the right screens up in front of me so I'm not talking utter rubbish to you. It's always helpful. And then we can crack on with our webinar. Hi, Kalisha. It's very nice to see you there. Brilliant. I do like it when I get my notes up saying with chats from people. Makes it so much more interactive. Right, brilliant. Okay, so let's crack on. We are... Oh, I've lost my notes again. Oh, goodness. There we go. Too many screens open. I'm trying to watch Facebook and Zoom and everything in one go. So today we are going to cover what a business plan is. And we are going to cover what your goals and objectives are and how to get them into your business plan. All about market research and financials. Now, this is all specifically related to building a business when you are a busy mum. So it may sound really technical, but it's not going to be. I don't do technical. I do nice, simple, easy things in hopefully plain, simple English. But if I'm not, just holler and I will definitely go over stuff again. That is not a problem at all. So, oh, goodness. Technology and me and webinars, it always happens, but we're gonna do this. There we go. Okay, I do apologise about this. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Harriet. I am a mum of two amazing boys. I have a 21-month-old who is full of energy all the time, and I have a 6.5-year-old who is neurodiverse. He is a very complex little boy. Would not change him for the world, but it does add an extra layer of interest and unique perspective into basically everything that I do. And it's why I created the Busy Working Mum Tribe, and it really is such a passion of mine to be able to help other mums who are trying to get the businesses going. Because I know when I started my business, I didn't have my boys, but when they came along, each time with that 5-year gap, it was like I was starting my business again. It really is hard work. I do know that. So anything that I can do to make your life easier, that is why I am here. So we're working. Brilliant. Let's go on to what a business plan is. Now, business plans always sound really scary. They're always things that are used by the bank or finance providers and everything like that. And they always make it sound as if it is the most complicated thing on the planet, and you have to have professional advisors to do it and all of this. Now, yes, having a professional advisor there is going to help you. And don't get me wrong, I'm going to say later on that you do need a professional advisor to help you with some bits. But a business plan, for me, I think it's very close to your heart. It has to be something that it reflects what you want. So it reflects your passions, your drives, everything that lights you up, everything that makes you who you are, because that is what your business is. Now, whether you are a sole trader, a freelancer, a limited company, a PLC, you know, whatever you are, if you are running that business is you, regardless of if your products or services. So you have to make sure that you are aligning your business plan to you, to your dreams and your aspirations. So although it covers everything that's needed for the financing, for, you know, sometimes for even just setting up a bank account, thankfully not so much nowadays, it is a really good document to have. And it's basically the way that you know where you're trying to get to and how you are going to achieve what you're trying to achieve. So there's 4 main sections to why a business plan is so powerful for you. The first one is, it is a written document. You have to sit and take the time to do it. It's going to list out all of your goals, how you're going to reach those goals, every step of the way along that, and how you're hoping to do financially as well. It's a brilliant roadmap for where you are now and where you are wanting your business to get to. And it's also a really good communication tool. Now, I always think saying things are a communication tool is a real buzzword, but it's really not. It's a powerful document that you can show anybody, be it a supplier, a customer. Obviously, you would work out what you're going to which bits you're going to give them. But you can show it to people and they can actually see you before they've even met you. So just by having a very clear description of your business, writing it as if you're talking, rather than, you don't need to throw in loads of buzzwords. You don't need to make it sound all professional. You need to make it sound right, sound like the ethos of your business. You can then let suppliers know exactly how you work and everything just through a few pages of a document. And it just shows people you are serious about what you're doing. You love what you do. You're passionate about what you do, and you are going to make it work. It shows that you are prepared. The last thing a business plan helps you to do that I've listed, there are a myriad of other things, but it helps you make good decisions. So it's going to help you make those tough decisions when you need to. And at any point in time in a business, there are difficult decisions to make, be it, you know, are you going to hire a member of staff? You know, are you going to take on a new supplier? Are you going to start a new product line, start a new service line? Are you going to completely start a new branch of the business? Or it can be other things as well that can help you make decisions. You know, you've got a temporary member of staff. Are you going to keep them on? Do you need to let them go? Everything like that. It's going to give you that information at the tips of your fingers to help you make an informed decision, along with, and I always say this, it also needs to be along with your gut reaction. As you are a business owner, you will always be the one who knows deep down in your gut whether it's the right thing to do or not. So always trust that, but also use your business plan. It's going to give you that just that support and reassurance that you are making the right decision. So there are several sections to a business plan. I haven't put them all here. I've just put the main ones that I would include. First off, I would include, either as 1 or 2 pages, an executive summary and a company description. Now, it's it's not as bad as it sounds. An executive summary really always sounds really kind of posh in my mind. To me, it's just about the company. It's just an overview. It's what the point of the company is and what it hopes to achieve. That is essentially all it is. The company description goes into a little bit more detail. So it's things like whether you're a sole trader or a limited company, and all those basic things, you know, whether you're doing products or services and what the products and services are, what your target market's going to be, and just things like that. It's just a sort of a nice overview of the company, including all the legally bits, as I said, like the structure and, you know, who the beneficial owners are. So if you're a sole trader, that's easy, or a freelancer, that's easy, it's you. If you are a limited company, it may just be you as a sole director, or it may be that it's you've got some silent directors or silent shareholders or something. You know, you don't necessarily need to put them in, but it's good to say, you know, the directors are, and you know, all bits like that. Then comes the next bit, the fun bit, the market analysis. So this is all the research you've done into your business, your industry, your target market, your customers, anyone who's doing something similar to you. And it's just to show that you've actually, from anyone else's point of view, it is to show you've done your research before you started. You haven't just woken up one day and go, I'm going to do this, and then gone ahead and done it. So from a financing point of view, you have to show that you've actually done your research and you know what you're talking about. From your point of view, it's to make sure you are actually going to provide something that people want, because that's always helpful. And if you're not providing something that they want, that they you can tweak it, you can get the feedback from it. So that is really, really essential for that bit. The next bit is the organisation and management. So this is a bit more about the structure, the people involved, if there's more than just you, and if there's a management team or anything like that. The likelihood is, you know, most of the people I deal with anyway, it is just them. So you don't really need to put very much in this section, but it's just there because it's part of a business plan. You've then got your products and services. So you're going to put a little bit more detail than you did in the company description about what your products and services are, and any unique features. Now, those unique features should have come out when you were doing your market analysis, that bit that's going to make you stand out above the rest. We will come into that a little bit more in a minute. It will also have any sales and marketing strategies that you've got. So any ways you're going to go about attracting customers and promoting, and your pricing, and if it is a product, how are you going to get it there, and all sorts of bits like that, the real practical bits, but done in a very high level approach. Your financial projections are basically your budgets. So it's your budget basically, and your cash flow if you've done one, just to let people know what you think your income will be and your expenses will be, and how your cash in the bank is going to look. Now, the cash in the bank is important for you. So when you're doing your financial projections, do them for you. Don't do them as if you're going for funding. For your initial business plan, if you're starting out in business, you need to do it for you. You need to know what your income is going to be in the worst possible case scenario and the best possible case scenario. And you need to do the same with your expenses, worst and best case, so you know what you're getting into. Now, obviously, if you're just starting out, you'll have absolutely no clue. So you just have to take an educated guess, for want of a better phrase. You know, you need to come up with something so that you know. If you're already in business and you're doing this just to get that more efficiency and productiveness, for want of a better phrase, into your business, then you'll have a better idea of what you're doing, and what your financial projections will be. So you'll have more of an idea what your budgets will be, and what your how much you're going to get in from customers and things. So it really does need to be done, erring on the side of caution. So low income, high expenses. If you're doing it for funding, obviously you're going to do it in the ideal situation, because that's what we all do. But for you, which is what we're talking about today, you need to be really realistic. So you need to be looking at your worst scenarios. you also do need to look at the best scenarios, because that is going to be what gives you that drive and that goal to keep going. But you really do need to look at the realistic amounts as well, because that is going to help you know whether you can take on a new contract, whether you can take on outsourcing or staff or whatever it is you'll want to do. Now, part of the financial projections are also, if you are requesting funding, they will want additional information in there. So it does need to be realistic, but for now, let's just do this so it's for you. So this is to help you to grow your business, to make it thrive rather than just plod, which, you know, can be the case when we've been busy being a mum. So next up, the benefits of the business plan. So once you've got your business plan done, even if it's just in draft format, it doesn't need to be wonderful, but I would suggest putting it in a nice template, you know, popping it into a nice template that you can find online or anything like that, prettying it up so that it's actually something you're going to want to read, you're going to want to go back to, because this document can be so useful. It's going to give you that clarity and focus that you need, so you know what your goals are and how you're going to get there. It's going to make sure that your goals are actually aligning with your personal beliefs, with the business and everything like that. It's going to give you the confidence and the motivation to get where you want to be. It's going to help you make those decisions that we've already covered. And it's a really brilliant tool for communications and collaborations. So if you need to start working with a bit closer with your suppliers or your customers or the bank, or you're taking a partner on board, or you're going to go into partnership with another company, you know, the possibilities are literally endless. This is a really powerful tool for that. And for busy working mums, this is a really powerful tool for getting that work-life balance. You can make sure when you are writing all of this, you're taking into account the fact that you've got school drop-offs and pickups to do, you've got this club and that club, you've got taxiing to do around, as we all do for the younger ones, you know, and everything else in family life that you need to take into account. You can do that as you're doing this business plan, and that will help you get that clear definition between your work and your home life, which is something we all strive for. Anybody who works for themselves, there is always a period of time where we end up just striving for that separation between the two. Okay, so within your business plan, you're going to put your business goals. Now, these need to be SMART goals. So I've listed out what the acronym stands for, which we all probably know. So they need to be specific. They need to be a very, very identifiable goal. So you don't want to say, I want to start a new product line. You know, that is very vague. You want to say, I'm going to start a new product line. It is going to be in pink pens. They are going to sell for X, Y, and Z, etc. So you want to know exactly which pink pen it is you're going to sell. You need to be able to measure it. So you need to measure whether it's quantities you're selling or amount you're selling. If you're doing a service, it's exactly the same. So your specific would be a specific service, like a real specific sit down and work out who your ideal customer would be, who you're going to sell this service to, what you're going to give them. And the same with measurable. It's going to be how many customers you get for that service, or how much you get in for that service. And you have to make sure when you're doing any goal planning that they're achievable. I mean, there is absolutely no point in setting a goal that you're going to earn enough money to fly to the moon by Christmas. It's not going to happen. So what is the point in doing it? You really have to make sure they're achievable and that you are actually aiming for something that you know you're going to get to. Okay, so they also need to be relevant. Now, my pink pen and service scenarios are a really good one. If you are in the service industry, so like I am, I'm an accountant and I'm a business mentor. So there's no point in me saying, right, I'm going to go and sell pink pens. You know, they need to be relevant to my business. And it's the same if you're in the product industry. If you want to go into providing services, that's fine, but you need to make sure it all links into your business and your actual core business identity. So it is what you wanted to do. You're not just doing something for the sake of doing it. Lastly, you need to give yourself a deadline, not a vague next year deadline. I'm meaning something along the lines of by the 14th of January 2024, I am going to have achieved DUMF. So you have a very specific, measured, achievable and realistic, relevant goal that you're going to achieve by a set point. So SMART is a lot easier way of saying that than what I've just said. So once you've got your goals, you're going to need to do some market research to find out exactly if this goal is achievable or not, basically. So market research is really, really important. It gives you that deep understanding of the market that you're trying to sell to, be it products or services. It gives you information about their needs, their wants, their desires, their behaviours, where they hang out online and physically, and all sorts of things like that. And it really does sound scary. I know when I started doing the Busy Working Mum Tribe, I've been doing accounting for so long. And I was thinking to myself, it's fine. I've been doing this for years. I can just go out and find some clients. And then I thought, no, I'm going to go and do some research into it. And I froze. I've been talking to clients about business plans for 15 or plus years. And suddenly I was just like, I don't know what to do. And I had to take that step back and say to myself, it's not a scary thing. All you're doing is going and asking a question. So I went to several of my accounting clients and I said to them, I'm thinking of doing this new thing. What do you think about it? And I got some really honest feedback from them. I did cherry pick to begin with because I wanted people who were going to be honest with me, and I wanted people who were going to be within the target market that I was looking for. So most of my clients who are mums, they got pestered by me. And it just gave me that information of, very superficially to begin with, do people want this? And then you start diving down a bit more. So once you've got an idea whether your product or service is actually wanted and needed, whether there's the desire for it in the market as well as the need at the moment, because obviously we do have to take into account the current financial situation. But once you've done that, then you can start looking for the opportunities and people's needs. So what do they actually want? And you can look at, when you're looking at the opportunities that are out there and how you're going to sort of your proposition, whether it be a product or service, you can also look at your competition. Now, I don't mean look at the competition for their prices. You have a quick glance, make a quick phone call if you want to, but you're looking at your competition to see what they're providing and then see how yours is going to stand out from that. What is different from their pink pen to your pink pen? Is it the fact that when you send it gift wrapped in a bow every time, whether it's gift wrap or not? It's going to arrive in a big pink envelope, or something quirky like that. With your services, what are you going to do to go above and beyond to make your service stand out from what you're doing? What are you going to give as an added extra for it? And it really, those little things, those little tweaks that you can make to your product, your offering, your service, whatever you want to call it, that is going to help you stand out just that wee bit above the competition, is exactly what market research is about. So you want to find that there's a need, and then when you found the need, you want to make sure that you can fill it and you can over deliver. So you are going to stand out. Now, I'm not talking about over delivering so you lose money. I'm talking about over delivering so you give the customers what they want plus a bit. Also, make sure, as I've said before, market research generally is about asking for feedback, asking for information. So any customers, family members, friends, anything like that who you've got that you can contact, please do and ask them for their feedback on what you're doing. I mean, I have pestered my family members, friends, clients, everybody before I did this. And I'm still pestering them now. I did exactly the same when I set up my accountancy the first thing I did was actually talk to my parents, and I said, look, do you think this is a good idea? You know, I just moved at the time, and there was all sorts of things going on, and I lost my job, and it was one of those, do I go and get another job, or do I set up my own firm? And you know, I knew there was a need for it because I had spent time talking with clients, talking with you know, my old firm's clients and things. I knew what the need was, and it really is invaluable to know what that need is, and to know how you can provide something which is just that little bit different, and it means you can actually have a business that you love and that you want to work in. So once you've got those goals, you've done that research, you then need to convert it into your plan. So this is very similar to when you're setting the goals, but what you're going to need to do is, you've got your end goal, you need to break it down, and you need to break it down into your plan of how you're going to get there. So the first thing you need to do is make sure everything you're doing is clear and specific. So using those SMART goals to have those achievable, measurable, etc. goals that you're doing. Make sure how you're going to do your goals is going to enable you to grow. It's going to enable your business to flourish, to, you know, turn from a little sapling into a giant oak tree. And make sure you know what tasks you need to do in order to get to that end goal. So whenever I do goal setting with a client, the first thing we always do is we do a goal commitment contract. And we choose our end goal, and then we break it down into manageable steps, including when we're going to do it by, why we're doing it, you know, what we're going to feel like when we've done it, and all sorts of things like that. But we break it down into very small, manageable steps that we can do that are going to help us get to that end goal in the end. The other thing you need to do when you're converting your goals into your business plan, or into a plan of any form, is to make sure you're using the right people, using the right, I've put here using the right partnerships, or the right partnerships. It can be anything. So it can be doing things to make sure you're making your customers loyal to you. But, you know, it could be as simple as a loyalty card, or, you know, doing a referral scheme so they get a discount, or they get a voucher or something if they bring more customers in. You know, make sure you are actually running your business so that you are treasuring and building that relationship with your customers, with your suppliers and everything. And if you need help from somewhere, find the right people to help you. Find people who align with your goals, with your desires, with your whole brand, basically. And get them within the business, be it as a subcontractor, as an outsourcing, etc. However you do it, to make sure you've got that right partnership. It is such a powerful thing when you're trying to achieve your goals. Now, so the last bit we're going to look at is of the business plan. Goodness, I lost the word there. I've said it too much. It is the financial planning and the budgeting section. Now, as I said before, this is a way of tracking your income, your expenses, setting yourself goals. That could be that your income's going to be a certain level, or you're going to get so much away in savings, or, you know, it could be just as simple as paying back a startup loan. Or in the UK, we had all these bounce back loans and all sorts from COVID. So it could be something as simple as getting those paid back. So goals don't have to be complicated. They just need to be very specific. So set those financial goals. Around those goals, create a realistic budget, not a pie in the sky, I'm going to earn 10 grand a month and I've only just started yesterday. A realistic goal. So from your market research, you will know what the client pool is like. So you can give yourself a really good shot at doing this realistic budget. You can then compare that budget to your actual figures. Now, I did a lot more on budgeting in my last webinar, the Cash is Queen one. So if you want a replay of that, please just drop me a message or pop a comment on the Facebook Live post, and I will send you the link for a copy of that for the replay. So there was a lot on budgeting in there and a lot on comparing it to your actuals and everything. So that's really worth a listen, if I do say so myself, because you do need to review, you do need to adjust it. Budgets are working documents. They need to be something that you refer back to regularly. Your business plan needs to be something you refer back to regularly as well. And that also needs to adapt as your business changes. So one of the things with the financial planning that you need to make sure you do is to keep everything separate. So when we're trying to get a balance between work life and home life, it's really helpful to have it as two separate things. So have your business bank account, have your personal bank account, and try to pay. I know it's really difficult because I get this wrong all the time, but try and pay for business from business and home from home. And if you need money in a different account, do it via transfers rather than paying for it out of the wrong account. The reason is it helps track everything a lot easier. So when I'm doing my accounting for clients and I find that they've been using their personal account more than their business account, actually takes 10 times as long to do, or it feels like 10 times as long. It's not as simple as having everything in the one account. So try and keep it as separate as possible. Use accounting software where you can. Now, there are loads of different accounting softwares out there. I recommend Xero with an X, because I've been using that for years now, and it is the one piece of software where it's robust and it's given me, I haven't had any issues with it, with losing audit trails or anything. There are numerous other ones out there. Find something that works for you, even if it is as simple as a spreadsheet, but whatever you do, get it set up right from the beginning, so that when you are getting bigger and your business is growing, you've got it all there. You haven't suddenly got to learn new software, and integrate all of these things that you've never had to do before. Which also brings me on to the next one, which is to do your bookkeeping regularly. Make sure you keep everything up to date. Once a month at the very least. It may only take you 10 minutes. Or, but if you get in the habit of doing it regularly, it's going to make everything a lot easier. Do your invoicing as you go, otherwise something will get missed. And then it's really difficult to go back 3 months later and say, oh, sorry, I haven't actually billed you for this yet. Keep everything under control, and that will keep your cash flow under control. It will keep your spending under control if suddenly there's unexpected expenses or anything like that. So yes, do it regularly. I do harp on about that a lot. And the other thing is get professional help. Now, I know as an accountant, I'm going to say that, but as a business mentor, coach, whatever you want to call me, I'm also going to say get professional help. You are an expert at what you do. Accountants are experts at what they do. So get the help with it. Get a bookkeeper to help you with your bookkeeping, or something like that. Whatever you can do, whatever you can afford, get someone to help you with it, because you'll get it right from the get-go. It'll make everything easier in the long run, and it keeps the taxman happy because you'll be able to get everything in on time. There are so many benefits. I'm not going to go on any longer, or I'll be talking for the rest of the night on that. Okay, so this is the bit I love. This is how your business plan and all of that we've just been through can really help balance your work and family life, which is the whole reason, as I said, this is the whole reason the Busy Working Mum Tribe came about. So by clearly defining your boundaries between work and home life, you can, it's just so freeing. There's no other way of putting it. So in our previous home, so we moved last year, in our old home, it was lovely. We thought it was brilliant. We had a 3-story house, it was perfect. But my office was in a bedroom upstairs on the top floor. That wasn't a problem. What the issue was I never got away from it. So we actually tried my office in middle level and top level, and it never worked, because upstairs I'd wake up in the morning, poodle out to see the boys and see my office. Brilliant. Right, we'll move it downstairs. Sitting in the lounge in the evening, I can see the office out the corner of my eye. Even though I had a dedicated space, I had no boundary there. I am very lucky now that I have my office stroke shed stroke whatever I'm going to call it studio. So I can have that boundary, but I'm not talking just about physical boundaries. I'm talking about mental boundaries as well. So it's really important to make sure that you set your working times, use your diaries, whatever you need to do, so that you actually have, this is my work time, this is my mum time, this is my me time, very essential, you know, and actually create those boundaries as if you're going to work. If you are doing this as a side hustle or an evening or a hobby or whatever you want to call it, again, define it. Make sure if you're doing it in the evenings, you set aside the time that you're going to work on it. You know, it is really important to get those boundaries in place from the get-go. If you don't, that's when everything can go a little bit awry and you end up, you know, that it takes over and you don't get that nice balance between your home life and your work life. And you end up sitting there when you're playing with the kids working at the same time. Now, don't get me wrong, I do that. If they're quite happy sat playing on the floor and they just want me sat with them, I will sit there with my laptop and I will type up my blog post for the next day or whatever it is I'm doing. But make sure that you're getting those boundaries in there so that you, when you are playing with the kids, you're playing with them. Okay, I've harped on about that enough. As you can tell, this is a bit that's really close to my heart. My boys are the centre of my world. You know, everything I do revolves around them, and I have to put a lot of extra work in because of William. I'm doing a lot of learning so that I can help him. I'm doing a lot of well, just basically anything that I can so that I'm going to benefit him, and in turn it benefits George. So I do that as well as what I'm doing here, because I know in the long run it's going to give him such a better, you know, life for both of them and for all of us together. So I have those boundaries. This morning I did a course, it was 3 hours long, so I went for 3 hours. I then had the afternoon with William, that was fine. The evening is for me working. So Daddy gets home from work, takes him to bed, I come out and do my work. So we have those boundaries in place. As I said, it does overlap at times, but yeah, just really work on getting those boundaries in place, because they are, you know, the moments that you get with your kids are really precious and you can't get them back. And I'm going to move on now to prioritizing. So make sure when you are working out all of your steps for your tasks and your goals to reach your ultimate goal, that you're actually working out what order you need to do them in. So you're working out, these are my ones I have to do today, these ones I have to do tomorrow, and these ones I can do within the next 3 days or whatever. So it doesn't matter the time frame, you just need to get them in order. It could be as simple as you could use a traffic light system, you know, whatever you want to use. Now, if getting your tasks and priorities and everything in order is something you're interested in, then please do drop me a message, because I've got a brilliant tool that we can talk about to help you with that. Okay, next up, oh, I've been talking too much, I think. Next up is to delegate where possible. So this is not just at work or in your business, this is at home as well. So make sure you are asking for help from your partner, significant other, older children, neighbours, anybody who is there who can help you. If it's something you can do to make your life that little bit easier and less stressful and things flow better, then do it. Is it something like the bookkeeping that nobody enjoys doing apart from sad people like me? If it's something like that, then, you know, outsource it. Find someone to do it for you. Have you got a meeting and it can only be at a certain time and you need someone to take the kids to school? You know, ask a friend's mum. I did that this morning. William went in with a friend this morning because I had to get to this course this morning. So, you know, use those in a nice way, use those friendships, those relationships that you've got to get people to help you both at work and at home, and use for the bits in your business that you're not good at, that you struggle with. So I am not good at writing. So I ask someone to check over all of my writing for me before I do it. I can talk, as you've noticed, no problem. It just comes out and I go off topic all the time, but I can't always get it down on paper. So I ask someone to help me with that. If I'm doing something that I really need done very specifically, I will write out an outline and then I will outsource it for someone to do it for me. If I need my website done, for example, I will get someone to do that for me because it's not my specialty. I could waste hours on websites. I'm not going to. I've got other things I want to be doing. And as I said, your bookkeeping is one of those things you can outsource as well. That generally frees up quite a lot of time and means that you're going to get it done, hopefully, correctly. The last thing is to use technology and automation. Now, I've hinted on this already about having accounting software and utilising that, but use things like your phone. Now, with the power of the lovely technology, most accounting software now, you could take photos and it'll automatically process most of the work for you to get that document in. So get all of that done. Use anything you can that's going to help streamline the systems behind the scenes. Use find payment gateways that are going to work nice and easily for you. Find it's not necessarily PayPal. There's Stripe, there's Go Cardless, there's is it Zettle, I think now, from PayPal. There's quite a, there's loads of them out there. Utilize the banking apps. If you don't want accounting software, no problem. Most banking apps now have the little thing in where you spend and it says tap to add a receipt. Tap and add the receipt. You've got it there. It's in the cloud. It's, it's there, it's done. And you can give your accountant access. All of these things that are going to help, do it. Anything that is going to help you and going to speed up that processing time of all the admin behind the scenes, and do that, because that is going to help you get that balance back. And put all of this into your business plan when you're doing it. So this slide isn't a standalone, or this section, sorry, isn't a standalone bit. It is all intricately linked to your business plan. As you are planning your goals, as you're planning what your business is going to do, as you are planning, all of it, make sure that it's actually going to work for you. Otherwise, there is no point. Make sure that you're getting the right people involved so that you're not going to waste hours trying to do something that would take someone else 10 minutes to do. Make sure you're getting all of your actionable tasks for each goal prioritized. Make sure you're actually setting those boundaries when you set it out. Don't say, I'm going to give 10 hours a week to my business when actually you've only got 2 available. It doesn't work. You need to make sure this is a holistic document. Yes, it's called a business plan. It's about your business, but there's no reason why you can't do a business plan for your home life. If you are wanting to do up the house, or there's a project you want to do in the house, do the equivalent of a business plan for it. It's actually great fun doing that. So make sure it is a usable document from both sides. And I really do recommend, if you're doing a project, if you are doing a big project in your home, like you're doing, I don't know, some building work or redesign or whatever like that, even if it's just decorating, if you need to plan out, if you've got limited time, which as mums we generally do, use a business plan type outline to come up with what you're going to do. You can make it really fun. You can do this for event planning. Oh God, I'm thinking of all sorts now you can use this for, but actually use it and, try and stick to a budget. If things are a bit tight, say, right, I've got X amount of money and that is how much I'm going to use to decorate the whole house. And you can get colour swatches and you can make it like its own little arts and craft projects. And I know that sounds really over the top and kind of daft. I don't mind being daft at all. So, I think it's quite a good thing to do because it really does give you that focus. Rather than charging in saying, yes, I'm going to go and decorate that room and painting the wall before you realise actually, you don't like the colour, you haven't painted the ceiling, you haven't done this, you haven't done that, and oops, you forgot to cover the carpet and you've got paint all over it. You can actually plan what you want to do. So, use this in your home life, in your family life, to get it to just flow that little bit more. This really can be a powerful document for your business, for projects that you're doing outside of your business. But when you're doing a plan like this, whether it be business, whether it be family, it needs to encompass everything. It needs to encompass your values, your beliefs, your boundaries between the two. Are you happy to work from home? If you are, have you got the space to do it? Where are you going to do it? You've got to think through all of this, because having that separation, if you're used to going to work and you're suddenly going to work from home, it can be quite a shock to the system. So really do think about the balancing act between work and family life when you are doing your plans, and have fun with it. That is the main thing. So you've got your business plan. What next? So I'm going to send you out, everyone who's registered for the webinar, so that was actually clicking on the link and popping your details in, you'll get a free download about building a strong foundation. And this is just some hints and tips for when you are creating a business or looking to expand your business. So you will get that out with the replay. The replay will be available. If you want it and you haven't registered yet, just drop me a message and I will send you the link to do that. Book some time in your diary to work on your business plan or your project plan, for whatever it is. Make sure you actually book the time. So this comes down to the boundaries again. Make sure you say, right, I've got an hour here, I'm going to start working on my business plan. You could put in a few times so that you've got a lot of time available to do it. Or you can do a big chunk of time, however you can fit it in your diary. Do that so you know you've got the time to actually sit and do this document properly. Now, make sure when you're doing it, as I've said the whole way through, it must align with your passions and dreams. You've got to want to go to work in the morning. Otherwise, it's just the same as going to work at a job, but 10 times more stressful. So make it fun, make it what you love doing, make it fulfill your passions and dreams, and you will be good to go. You will be getting up in the morning, wanting to go to work and just loving life and having a really thriving business, because it will feed off of your energy. So if you haven't already joined our Facebook group, the Busy Working Mum Tribe, there is a daily article, blogs and posts and questions and support and all sorts, and it is a great little community and it's growing all the time. And if you would like to, please do book a call with me, and we can discuss your business plan further and I can give you some helpful resources. Now, I have got another webinar coming up in 2 weeks' time. It's going to be all around organisation and creating a clutter-free life, both digitally and physically. So I will pop the link for that out in the next day or so. I'm really looking forward to doing that one. Again, that's another one that's close to my heart. I'm loving the fact now that I have organisation in my office, and it just makes everything flow better. So please do drop a message if you're interested in that one. But as I said, I will be popping the link out. But that just leaves me to say thank you so much for watching and sitting through all my spiel about business plans. And I really do hope that you sit down and take the time to create a business plan and do all the little bits of research and work for it, because it is such a powerful tool and it's going to give you such an amazing insight into your business and into everything. It's going to give you that balance and that time, and it's going to give you the tools to succeed and have an amazing, thriving business as a super mum that you all are. Thank you very much. Good night, everyone.